Why should such a concept be better than the idea of immersion or the idea of having English as a foreign language taught by someone who is a native speaker of English?
Here we can't say that automatically BGE is better than any of the other concepts. It depends on the goal that is linked to the choice of method. We very clearly have to distinguish between effect, intended effect, and then once you've set your target, your goal, the intended effect, find an appropriate way that allows you to reach the goal in a comfortable and rapid way. So that's the efficiency. Effectivity and efficiency have to be kept apart. And if your effect that you want to have at the end is that learners are able to communicate without problems with a British native speaker, then BGE is not the best way, and immersion or having a foreign language taught by a native speaker of that language are better ways. But if you wanna, if your goal is to make learners capable and competent in communicating with people from a broad range of countries all over the world, then BGE is the better way, because it includes topics that are not entitled, come up with a topic again, New Year's Eve in the US, but the topics are like New Year's Eve in the US, in France, in Italy, in Argentina, in Russia. And also then the communicative strategies that are used in these countries are shed light on more detail. So again, the goal should define the choice of method.
So if at later stages learners should master standard English, why don't you immediately teach them proper English instead of wrong English?
Again, the learners should not automatically acquire a native-like or standard-like level of English if they don't wish to. So it should be up to the learner, him or herself. That's one point. The second point is I don't teach them wrong English. I refrain or abstain from the word wrong and right. I speak of successful and non-successful forms in lingua franca communication. I myself, as a teacher, try to use native-like pronunciation as an input. But the students, if they wish to get to know English as a lingua franca, should also be confronted with other authentic Englishes from non-native and native speakers, both.
But don't you make it hard for those you want to acquire a native-like English later? And don't you see a danger that non-standard pronunciations and grammar usage make it fossilized?
No, I don't think that there is a huge danger that the non-standard forms get fossilized in such a way that students or learners are no longer able to come closer to a native-like model. That's against, or that's not what experiences show, because then you would have to conclude that it's nonsense to teach foreign languages at university level if you are convinced that the learners cannot master the language in a native-like way. Also, we have observed that learners, when they're in a target country, for instance, learners of English, of German mother tongue, when they have spent several months in the United States or in Britain, they can come up with very good accents. And it's also possible that they improve their Englishes just at university, yeah? If they're made aware of their non-standard forms of their errors in traditional terminology, and if they're conscious of these non-standard forms, then they can also work on these forms.
If you want people to become aware that with English they can communicate globally, don't you see a danger for other languages to lose vitality and attraction?
Global English, basic and then advanced global English, is part of a model that I call global triglossia, or also global trilingualism. So in my view, everyone should master his mother tongue, of course, then global English as the global tool for communication, and a third language that he or she is really interested in as a cultural language, that he or she should also master as the language of a certain target culture. It comes close to an idea that was published last year by a group of intellectuals brought together by the European Union, because 2008 was the European Year of Intercultural Dialogue. And they also say that people should, first of all, of course, master their native language, then a lingua franca, a language for international communication, but then also a language that this group calls a second native language than another foreign language, an idea that I like very much, and they call it an adoptive personal language. That comes close to my model of global trilingualism. And we've also made the experience at the elementary school, where we tried out basic global English with two second classes. We're in a Europe-wide project, the so-called Comenius project. These people were enabled, the kids were enabled with their basic global English, to communicate with classmates in Finland, Italy, Romania, France, and the Netherlands. And some of the kids went to Finland and some went to Italy. And those who had gone to Italy and came back had made so many positive experiences, had been able to communicate with their Italian classmates in basic global English, and they liked Italy so much that they decided that they also want to participate, beside a basic global English course, in an Italian course. So this shows that there's no automatism that basic global English is the death of other languages.
Is there an internet address that you can recommend to people who want to inform themselves more on basic global English?
All projects that use basic global English are presented, as well as the model itself, basic global English, are presented at www.basicglobalenglish.com.